Hey, it's Cecilia. Um, so today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about clearing clutter in a pandemic. I've been actually thinking about this a lot since things started shutting down in March, and at that time I thought about running a clutter clearing challenge, and very quickly I nixed that idea because it was such a huge upheaval. I mean, I unless you're very old, I don't imagine any of us, anybody who me or anybody who's watching this has been through a global pandemic before. This is new for everyone. And in March it was really new. And what happens when things are very stressful, when there's a lot of stress and a lot of intensity, it can make it much harder to let go. So I've probably talked about this in videos before. This idea that sometimes things in your life make it easier to let go, and other times things in our lives push us more towards holding on. And definitely something like a global pandemic and the newness of it, as it was in the spring, is going to push us more towards the holding on. So I guess I just want to set that as a context. Um, and that if you had the intention at that time to clear your clutter and you weren't able to, that's okay. It's normal. You're a human being, and it is very challenging to adjust to new situations. So I guess my hope is that at this time, there it's sort of a new normal. We're in a new normal, which doesn't mean that it's not still stressful, but it's not stressful in that new way. So that's one thing. I guess the other thing that I want to say about it is that if you are experiencing extra stress, like you just lost your job, you just lost a loved one, you work in the healthcare industry, your business is struggling, I guess I want to invite you to have some tenderness and care for yourself at this time. And again, like if clutter clearing was on your list this year and it didn't happen, that's okay. I've said this many times, clutter clearing is a luxury. Unless you are in some kind of hoarding situation, for most of us, clutter clearing is an indication of our abundance. We have too much stuff, um, and it's not necessary. Now, the other thing so I just wanted to put that in the space as well. So if you, even though we're sort of in a new normal when it comes to the pandemic, if you're sick, if somebody you love is sick, if there are extra stressors in your life, you don't need to add more. So if what happens sometimes, we have an intention to clear clutter, and when we don't, there's kind of shame that's put on top of that. And so I guess I want to kind of give you a pass. So now I want to talk to the people so you're sort of in the new normal. Things are okay. Like maybe they're even great, but maybe they're just okay. And you're looking around and you're like, I mean, I have to admit, I hid a few piles over there. Um, Piles are normal. Um, Things build up and then we clean them up and they get messy again and we clean them up, and that's just normal. So if that you're noticing that happening in your life, that's normal. Um, but I was listening to a Brene Brown podcast recently, and she was talking about how during this time, when we can do little projects that give us a sense of satisfaction. So, like in May, I had like a big bin of kitchen stuff just in bags, like flour and sugar and nuts and, all that sort of bulk stuff that I would buy at a bulk store, just in like this bin, and they were just everywhere, right? It was like over this overflowing bin. And at one point I just like went to the store. I had to plan it, but I went to the store, I got mason jars, and I did my bulk stuff. And I sort of put this thing that was in chaos into order. And there was something so incredibly satisfying about that. And so I extend that invitation to you right now. Is there a little corner that you could choose? And I really don't want you to choose the whole house, but is there like a little corner that you can choose in your house that gives you a sense of control when everything is out of control? The US election, fires, pandemic, like 2020 is 2020ing us big time. So things are crazy out there. Can you make a little space in here, like in your home? And in a way, when you can do that, when you can make a little space in your home, you can also make a little space in here, is the hope. So if you're there, I invite you. I'm running a 7-day clutter clearing challenge that starts on Monday. If you're watching this in the future, hopefully I'll run it again. But Monday, October 26th, and I invite you to join me, to join us. We already have over 80 people signed up, and there's something really beautiful in those communities when we're all there for a common purpose, supporting each other with kindness and compassion, and you don't have to do it alone. So I invite you. I would love to have you. And F Clutter. Bye.